Welcome, welcome. How's everybody today? Good. Glad that all works well. How's everyone? It's been, do you know what? This is the phone. There we go. It's been quite a busy weekend and it's been a non-stop day today. Usual thing, if you can hear me, give us a thumbs up, and also if you can hear the sweet Louise.
Can you hear me?
I think I'll call you from now on. Oh, Louise, you're flashing again, love.
Oh no.
You're flashing. Let me disconnect you.
Stop me.
And let's plug you back in. Fingers crossed you won't be flashing.
Is this going to charge me as well?
No.
Oh. Okay.
How's everyone doing? So can you hear Louise and myself? Just let me know. I have to.
You've got your monitor back, haven't you?
I have, but the resolution's wrong. So you're very squashed.
That's okay. You'd rather be squashed than stretched. It's always got to be better. Good.
Everyone can hear. Good. Excellent. All good here. Flashing, Mrs. Lloyd. Yes, we've sorted you out. Everyone, it's been. Everything's just gone mad. Last week was a really busy week in the shop, because we always count the 6 weeks leading up to Christmas, and the first of the 6 weeks is a bit, you don't notice any difference in take-ins, but that should be starting this week. But last week it was chaos.
It was really busy.
I'm spanning, and today has
but
been.
But then Saturday was really quiet for a Saturday.
It was. I think people are just looking at the moment, going into Cardiff, coming back, realising there's no bargains to be had in
the
Cardiff.
valleys.
Yes.
And Cardiff, obviously Cardiff's good. Yeah.
Well, whatever. Cardiff boy myself. Everyone is all good. Cool haircut, thank you, Phil. Yes, I had it cut last week because, just a bit of an announcement, there is going to be no Q&A next Monday. Next Monday, no Q&A, no workshop. It's going to be
a day off.
A day off. Well, not quite a day.
Well, yes, it is going to be a day off,
isn't it? Because we're off to a wedding on Sunday.
Not just a wedding, any old wedding, Andrew.
We're off to a wedding on Saturday, and it's one of my children's weddings.
Wedding. It's your daughter's wedding, Andrew. It's one of my children's weddings.
One of my children's. It's one of my daughter's wedding on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're going to be not here Monday. It's on Sunday, and it's going to be really. I am nervous. I think I'm more nervous being the father of the bride than I was actually being groom.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I am really nervous.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know.
Is it the speech?
I don't know what it is.
Because we did a joint speech, didn't we? When we
did.
got married, we just decided it would be more fun and just easier. So that's what we did.
The scary thing is when we did a speech, I thought our jokes were really good. But nobody else did they? No one really
we enjoyed
laughed.
the speech.
We did enjoy it.
It was our day, so that's all that matters.
Everybody else. And I'm just curious. I'm not going to make any jokes. I'm not going to make any
I will
light-hearted.
laugh at your jokes. You know that.
I'm not going to make any light-hearted remarks because no one's going to laugh. So to save the embarrassment, yes.
I'll laugh.
To save the embarrassment, I'm not going to do any jokes. It's as simple as that.
Your speech isn't supposed to be funny. You can put some
It's
funny
heartwarming.
anecdotes, and yours is supposed to be sweet and heartwarming and and tear-jerking. The best man is supposed to be funny.
It ain't going to be tear-jerking, I can assure you of that.
It's going to be good. Don't be negative. It's going to be amazing. You're going to do a fabulous job.
Yeah, that'll be good, won't it? So I'm sure you'll see lots of photographs on Insta, on Facebook, or whatever it's going to be if you follow us. So that's going to be on the Sunday. We're staying up there Saturday night, Sunday night, and we're coming back on Monday, so there's no Q&A.
And then it's nose to the grindstone all the way to Christmas.
Yes, and we also have an event day as well this Saturday. In the shop, in the store, we have a summer fete that goes on outside with all the stalls.
It's a winter fair, it is, Andrew.
Is it winter fair?
Yeah.
We have a winter fair, a Christmas fair that's happening outside with all stalls that sell the usual stuff, and then we have an event day. We have what do we have? Offers, free prosecco, free mince pies.
I'm looking forward to the Prosecco.
We're going to have to buy that. We haven't bought it yet.
We've got to do that,
So
yeah.
that's the idea.
So I've been working hard, publicising that, emails, social media, everything else we can think of, really, isn't it?
It's been, and again,
Planning.
non-stop, and I think you could have cracked social media and the adverts, I think. Because whatever you've been doing right.
I don't know whether anybody
lots of
else has
engagement.
noticed since Facebook changed, but then I think I've been changing the way I've been posting a little bit as well. And at the moment, dare I say, touch wood, I don't want to be cocky or I don't know. It's been going well. So perhaps we'll have to do a little podcast or something, chatting about the things we've changed and the improvements that we've seen for the shop.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
So that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So chats at the bench.
Yeah.
Something like that, isn't it? That's what we'll have to do. And we're going to do something like that. So yeah, I think that should be pretty good, isn't it?
The news?
Yes, you do have news.
I do have news. I have got... It's not chocolate.
It's not chocolate.
It's not chocolate. It is
Slide
the
it
all
nice and close.
new...
Slide
Yes,
it.
please do. Gemology Rocks Gemstone Advent Calendar. I'm so excited. Thank you to the 6 people who voted on Instagram that I would indeed be able to wait until the 1st of December. And the rest of you had no faith in me whatsoever. And I haven't opened it.
You haven't? No,
I will
because
not
the
open
seals
it.
are still intact.
I
as
will
you
not
can
open it
see.
until the 1st of December. Shall I tell you why I won't open it?
Sounds nice, doesn't it?
I bought an Advent calendar years ago for Lisa. Oh, Lisa in the calf.
Yes.
Lisa. Because she told me she'd never had an Advent calendar. And I bought her a Malteser's Advent calendar.
You did.
And do you know what she did?
What's that?
She opened it and she ate all the Maltesers out of there. It weren't even...
As you should, yes.
It weren't even December. She just sat on a sofa and just munched her way through it. So that's why I would never do that. I won't eat them, Claire, no. So, I'm so excited to open this because it is basically 24 gemstones, one for each day in December to help you count down. Not only that, it's a mini course for every day as well. And I think what we'll do is perhaps we'll make a little bit of an event, because if you can buy it for yourself, you can buy it for your team, and we can take it in turns to open a door and take the mini course, then learn about the stone.
You could, couldn't we?
How to sell it, what you can and can't do to it. Yeah, so I'm super duper excited about that.
Good idea. And don't forget, pop the link to the calendar in the chat as well.
Yes, I think it's £165 plus VAT, but
Wonderful.
Do remember there are 24 gemstones in here. Yeah.
So it sounds good, doesn't it?
So it's learning, it's stuff and learning. So that's what's amazing about
each gemstone,
it.
there is a course. There's a little bit of mini course on each gemstone.
So,
but we don't know how that's going to work yet, do we?
No. But when we have our morning coffee, we'll take it in turns. No!
We should open it.
No, we
find
can't.
out how it works.
Just ask Kerry. There's no need to cheat, is there?
Okay then.
No Advent. Susan, you can have Advent. Or not. Up to you. But yeah, you're going to set each one, Louise. I was thinking perhaps I'll design something which incorporates all of the gemstones out the Advent calendar. But I will say, I know some of our members bought this last year, and it's so good they bought it again this year.
So obviously there's not going to be the same stones in the same places as last year then, are there? I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't know what's in here, because I haven't looked at it. But that's how good it is.
Yeah.
People are buying it again.
People buy it for the second year running, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
So, Louise,
can you put each day opening training onto Facebook?
You've got to be careful because
I don't want to give away too much of the course, the lesson information, because obviously that's not very fair on the company, is it?
No.
But
no, I think perhaps sort of
but I will certainly share with you what's
midday you could open the door and tell us what is in it midday, because I would have thought people would have had enough time then to have opened it in the morning. So opening it midday.
I'm going to be opening that at like 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm awake, as soon as my eyes are open.
So the idea, I think,
put it back in there for the workshop.
Would be to open it midday and then do a post on it midday.
Okay.
So then you're not revealing what it is before anybody else has opened it. But you can't do the course like that. Just show us what an amazing gemstone's behind the door.
Or get it yourself, and then you can just join in the fun.
We'll all join in together.
Yeah.
Exactly, to a live every day, opening up your advent calendar.
Yes,
That'd
so
be
24 different gemstones and gem materials, and a mini course for every single day. So you're going to learn. It's a gift of education as well as gemstones. What could be more
very
perfect?
good, isn't it? I love it. It's a really
brilliant,
good idea.
isn't it? Fabulous idea of Kerry's.
Good.
Because she did it last year.
She did.
She did it last year. So
Well
that's when it all started. Brilliant. I'll put the link on now.
Check out the link and we will have a look.
So you can, and I don't know how many are left actually, because I know they did an event, didn't they, over the weekend?
Yes, in Kempton Park, I think it was. Yes, it is £200. It's £200, not £250. It's £200.
It's 165 plus VAT. Yes, Lou, I just put the link into the chat. But it's the gemstones plus it's the mini courses as well. So you are, when you think about the learning as well and the information that you're going to have, are all pack contents the same? I don't know. That's a good question.
I have to find it from Kerry. Because sometimes, there may not be an amethyst in the same place.
Bearing in mind, Kerry is queen of the gemstones. So,
but they may be different places.
But they might, I don't know.
Need to find a bit more information.
We need to find out. We need to speak to some other people who've got calendars and
write it down. Ask.
I'll ask Dimitri. I think he's got one.
Ask Kerry Gregory and find out if are all the same stones. All the stones in the same places.
Does it matter?
Yeah, because if you open up one and it's an amethyst, and perhaps someone isn't opening up an amethyst and it's a citrine that particular day, that's not very good, is it?
It is very good. Shut up.
So it is very good, but it's not going to be the same, is it? Do you know what I mean? Anyway,
it's brilliant. I can't wait to open it. Just jealous because you haven't got one. So
all right. I'll have my chocolate one, I'm sure.
I haven't got you a chocolate one.
Oh.
You'll be having nothing if you carry on, Andrew Berry.
Should we start our Q&A?
Yeah, go on.
But apart from that, everything's all okay. I've ordered those discs as well, diamond discs. Just what I'd tell you now.
Ooh, for the...
Yes, for that. So we've got to play around with that and find out what that's all about. Yes, I did get it from Precious Metal Clay Limited.
Did you?
I did. So to support the local businesses as opposed to supporting big national company.
Okay.
That's what I did. Thank you. I'm going now.
Good for you.
Okay. Trevor, anything else you want to say?
Not at the moment. I don't think so.
Excellent. We had a whole load. In theory, we got loads to tell. We had a lovely big bag of crystals and gemstones today.
Oh, the rough.
The rough. We got loads of rough sent us today. We've
got some amber. Is it copal or copal? Copal. I don't know. It's copal amber, which is young amber, isn't it? So it's. I think it's like 2 million years old. Yes, immature amber. Instead of being like 40 million years old.
But we do have some of that as well.
We've got some of that as well, yeah.
We got loads of rough.
Yeah.
Amethyst, rose quartz.
They're going to cut it up and...
citrine, what else was there? Sodalite or lapis.
I don't know which...
Loads of
It's all dusty at the moment, so we're going to go through it and see what's what.
We'll have a play. After Christmas, obviously, now at this rate. Can we wait? All right, should we start?
I can't. Okay.
It is Monday, just trying to find the date, Monday the 14th of November. It's beginning to look a lot like Q&A session, 4 p.m. Let's go, Louise. Let's start our first question. Oh, by the way, in the chat, can anybody see a little blue bar up on the top? It says, if you'd like to ask a question, write it here. Can anybody see that?
I can see that, and it's making me not see the first question. Ironically.
So can anybody see that little, because it's a new feature that YouTube have introduced. They've actually introduced a few new features quietly without telling anybody. But within the chat section for us, we can start this. Great. Amco, can you write a question in that?
Well, I've just written a question.
Oh, you've written a question in.
And I don't know where it's gone. It's just gone.
Okay, so what you have to do, you have to click on live chat on your screen. Louise, on the right hand, this one here.
Oh.
If you click on live chat, you can click on questions.
I know, but is it going to switch to top chat?
And all your questions now should be there.
Okay.
And all the questions is there.
Good.
and then you can actually highlight a question so people know what question I'm actually answering.
If you would like to ask a question, right, how do I highlight? Do I do that?
Yes, there we go.
Select question.
Select question.
Okay, good.
Should we try it?
Should we try it? Okay.
All right. Louise, should we have our first question with you?
I'm going to select Penny's question. Do you... Ah, it's there. Do you recommend anyone for engraving?
No. We do. Oh, this is the thing.
Depends where you are, doesn't it, really?
We do. We have an amazing engraver, but he takes 6 weeks just for items to be engraved. The problem is, during COVID and lockdown, a lot of the engravers are quite elderly. It's generalisation, but there's quite a few engravers who are elderly who thought, do you know what, we're not going to carry on. And a lot of hand engravers ceased trading because they were retirement age and they thought this is the ideal time to retire. So all the engravers who are younger have been absolutely flooded with work. We use one. His name is Matt. Can we say who he is?
I don't see why not.
Traditional hand engraving. He is up north, Bradford, I do believe now. But he does take 6 weeks at the moment, and that is, for me, is a long time.
He's done some engraving for me. It was a gift for you, wasn't it? Which I've got engraved.
That was before lockdown, wasn't it?
Trust him with my own personal
he is
items.
Brilliant.
And
it's all hand engraving, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's beautiful.
It's not with a.
Have you got it on?
No. It's not with the GRS. It's not with the power. It is purely hand engraving, and he does some amazing, beautiful work. His name is Matt. Traditional hand engraving up in Bradford. You're more than welcome. You can look him up on Facebook, I'm sure, or I don't know where he is, to be honest. But if anybody wants to get in contact with Matt, you are more than welcome to contact us, and we can pass on his details to you. But he does take a while.
Good.
Louise, shall we have another question?
Yes,
Please.
I am going to jump back to the chat.
Yes,
because people weren't expecting to have to use that chat box.
That's fine.
So I'm going to just try and toggle a little bit to make sure everyone gets a fair.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when delft casting, sorry Valerie, this is your question. When delft casting, how much over the original ring weight is recommended? Say you're moulding a ring that weighs 1 ounce. Should you melt down 1 1/4 ounce, or is spot on safe?
I would never do spot on. Because the thing is, okay, here is my mould, here is halfway. So you have, your ring is down here, for argument's sake, all right? Or whatever it is you're casting. You've got your sprue coming down like this, your pouring channel, and there's your sprue going in. Delft clay relies upon gravity for the metal you put in here to end up in here, and if you just have enough, it's not going to be enough force of gravity pulling that down. So I cannot tell you exactly how much you're going to need, but I would always try and err on obviously more than what you need. If you just had enough, there's a chance that this is not going to fill, because by the time the metal comes in here, there's not an awful lot of metal. It could cool on its way to fill the mold. If you have a small amount of metal, it will solidify quicker than if you had a large amount of metal. So I would always at least try and get that half full. So it depends on the size of your pouring channel. If this is, as you say, if this is 1 ounce, that's 31 grams. I would like to have at least half again. So if you're going to have 31 grams, so that's your ounce, try and get half again, 46, in that sort of region. The more metal that you've got, the more metal is going to be in here, and there's more weight, there's more mass pushing this down to fill the mold. You purely have enough just to do that. There isn't going to be enough forcing that metal to completely fill the mold. And if you are trying to do things like a ring, and your ring, and you're trying to cast, you're trying to cast a ring. That's a terrible drawing. Anyway, if you're trying to cast it and you're expecting the metal to travel all the way around to both sides, If you just have the right amount of metal, it's never going to travel. You have twice the amount on something on a ring, you can be sure there'll be enough metal entering the mold to push it round. Simple as that. So yes, try and have at least half again, most definitely. And then you're going to be, basically you don't want to keep making up molds going, oh, it hasn't worked, it hasn't worked. You want to make this mold once and you want to cast it right the first time. So try and do it right the first time. And if you've got extra silver, because don't forget, it's not wasted, because you can always reuse the metal if it's silver. Obviously, if it's gold, you're going to have to spend a bit more on the gold, or your customer's going to have to give you more. But yeah, I would do at least half again to be sure. Louise, let's have another question.
Let's go with Susan's question. What pickle do you use for depletion surface?
I simply just use a safety pickle. It is sodium bisulfate. Something as simple as that. I don't do anything different. Heat it up. I do have this warm. This is my little pickle pot up here. I make sure that is warm. I find I want to work fast. I want to work quick. I can't be sitting around all day waiting for that to pickle. So yes, depletion. If you're heating it up, I would make sure there's no color to the metal. I would have it so it's like a black heat, quench it quick in the water, heat it up, quench it in the water, heat it up, and so forth. I want to work fast, I want it quick. Do that 10 times. Some people say scratch brush it with a brass brush in between. You can do. I don't really understand why that would be the case, but keep quenching it. Sulfuric acid if you want to, but I know sulfuric acid is really difficult to come by these days. If you're going to use things like citric acid, it's not strong. So I wouldn't try and do any depletion using citric acid. You may find you're going to be there for a long, long time. But definitely safety pickle, the sodium bisulfate. Vitex is what we use as well. We sell Vitex in the store. Anything that is like that, use it warm, use it fresh, and it'll be just right. Yeah, there's another question with you.
Good. Where did I see? Oh, Gillian's question is the last question in the chat.
Okay.
So I'll read that out and then I'm going to just go to the... So if everybody goes into... I know it kind of like obscures
should we
the top.
Not do it then?
What do you think, guys? To be honest, this makes things massively easier for me because I've got a stream of questions and then a stream of chat. So I think this way... Prefer? It's not up to me, is it? But this makes it so much easier for me.
If people ask questions,
because I'm not going to miss questions.
Okay.
But if people are happy that I'm doing a good job without that, I will happily just use the full stream. So let me know what you think, and I'll do whatever you think is best. Yeah. Okay. If you want to do away with the chat with the question box, that's what we'll do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we don't know how it's going to work yet, do we?
I'm flashing again. No, I'm not. I'm okay. Okay.
We don't know how it's going to work.
See what you think.
Yes.
But anyway, Gillian's question is, if you wanted to engrave some Christmas decorations yourself, is there a cheap handheld engraver you recommend?
No. But you can use your flex shaft or a Dremel. Just get a very, very small ball burr. You are flashing a little bit, aren't you?
I am a bit.
Just get a small ball burr and just use it as your pen. Have it on a high speed, just do it very lightly, because if you push the ball burr into the piece, it may catch and it may run away and mark your surface. It also helps to perhaps get a very fine Sharpie and do the lettering beforehand, perhaps do an upper and a lower line with a Sharpie, and then come along then and do, say, Christmas. You can do, C. You can do this. You know what I mean? Yep. So you do that, then you get your ball burr, and then you follow the ball burr over it, so you know where your lines are, you know how big the letters are going to be. If you don't have any guidelines, there's a chance that your letters are going to be all over the place, and they start going bigger, they start going smaller. But yeah, try and pencil some lines, scribe some lines with a very fine Sharpie. Ball burr. This is the thing, don't try and use the attachment that goes into your hammer handpiece if you're just starting. It's not the best, it's not the most brilliant, but a simple ball burr would be nice. You could start the letter very lightly and then go slightly heavier for the main body, and then come off when you want to do your italic-y serify bits. But that's what I would recommend. Dremel, flex shaft, small ball burr. Don't try and use a sharp, like a knife edge or a 90-degree setting burr. A ball burr is going to be fine. You could go over it with perhaps a 1mm just to get the initial shape in, and then swap over to perhaps 1.5, and then just go over the main body, applying a little bit more pressure on the down and so forth. But that's what I would do, yes. Louise, should we have another question?
Yeah. Yeah, the general consensus so far is the question box is good. It keeps everything nice and tidy, which is great.
Good, okay.
I'm saying it might be handy to remind us of it at the start of a stream, and if someone asks questions in the chat, anyone can remind them to use the new feature. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah, good.
Right,
okay. Yeah. Well, we'll try it, shall we?
Good. Try it, yes.
Good. Yeah, thank you, Claire. Fab. Okay, so Helena is saying, if I annealed an old gold ring shank, would it flatten to go through a rolling mill?
Yeah, you can anneal it. This is what we do quite often with some of the scrap that we buy. You've got to be careful. You can, if you have an old ring shank, if you have the hallmark on it, sometimes when you roll it, even though that hallmark may be slightly recessed, when you roll it, that recess will be taken out. But you sometimes still can see the hallmark upon the piece. So if that was the case, and as I say, we do this quite often, we will cut a ring shank in half. Don't forget, warm it up, bit of a black heat, and if there is a join in it, you need to cut through the join, because that is the solder joint. Then file a little bit on either side, open it up, put it through the rolling mill. You can do it through the V grooves, you can make it a little bit shorter, a little bit fatter, but be careful when it comes to the hallmark. If you're doing it flat and you flattened it, and you should be able to see the hallmark slightly imprinted into the metal, get yourself a sanding drum or a buff stick just to go over where that hallmark was, just to remove any trace of it, and then you can carry on rolling it a little bit further. But that is an ideal way of not faffing around with melting it down to make up new stock, but just melt it, cut it and roll it, and you'll make your own little bit of sheet or wire. Absolutely. Louise, we do have some show and tells today, don't we?
Yeah.
Should we have that in a moment?
Yes, shall I? I've just put Dawn's question up, so
Okay.
I'll ask
Yes,
Dawn's
please.
question.
Thank you.
Dawn is saying, what am I doing wrong? Solder, balls, but.
Doesn't flow. Yeah?
Yeah, balls out, balls.
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 The solder balls, but
Solder balls.
solder balls. It is because I shall draw this. So what is happening? You, for instance, have a bangle. Okay? Here's your join, and you put your flame by here. So this is your flame. Yeah. Your bangle. So what is happening is that the piece that you're heating up has a larger mass than your solder. Your bit of solder is by here, okay? This is your solder. Now, you put a flame onto a ring, onto a bangle, onto a sheet. What is going to happen? This little solder is going to heat up quicker than the rest of the metal. So this little bit of solder is going to ball up. But this bit of metal here is not going to get hot enough. So what you need to do is, don't put any solder on just yet, heat up the piece, or in fact, apply your flux first of all. Well, there's your flux on the top there, and your flux goes to the joint, and there's your flux underneath. Heat up the piece that you're heating, look at the colour of the flux. When it starts to go perhaps brown or greyish, glassy, get your solder, apply your solder, because then it is the piece that you are soldering, so it's the ring shank or the pendant or the bangle, it is that metal that should heat the solder. And when the solder melts, it's because the heat is transferred from the piece you're soldering to the solder. So try not to put the flame onto the solder. Always try and put the flame, okay, here's your flame here, not in direct line of the solder. So for instance, you put your flame here and then you move your flame back and forth like this. The solder's on top. This metal is going to get to the right temperature for the solder to melt. If this solder is lying in contact with the metal, the heat is going to transfer from the metal to the solder. When it is the correct temperature, the solder is going to melt because it has been heated up by this metal, and as soon as that solder starts to melt, the solder then will flow into the solder joint, because then that is the correct temperature. So what is happening? Your torch is melting the solder. The solder is hot enough to flow, but only on the condition that the metal that you're soldering is the right temperature. So your solder is melting, but the metal that you want to solder is not hot enough. You have to get your piece of metal hot enough for then the solder to flow into the joint. When that happens, gorgeous solder joint. So don't put the flame on the solder, put the flame, direct the flame onto the piece and let the piece heat the solder, because the solder should be in contact with the piece, and then as soon as that piece of metal is the right temperature, the solder will go, oh, it's the right temperature, I think I'll flow, and it'll go and flow. Yes, Louise, let's have another question.
Okay, do you want another question or do you want some photographs?
Whatever you want.
Should we do some photographs?
We'll do some photographs, should we?
Okay, so I'm going to show Diane's baubles.
And why not?
Because they're marvellous. So Diane sent me this, these lovely photographs of her, I'm flashing again, aren't I? Okay. Her silver baubles that she made for her Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, Lapatopper. There we go.
How gorgeous.
They're really
so beautiful,
cool, aren't they?
So Diane had a question last week at the Q&A about setting. Persevered with Andrew's helpful suggestions. Excuse me. And sorry, persevere with Andrew's. Why can't this turn off? Right, sorry. Persevere with Andrew's helpful suggestions, and I'm pleased with the outcomes. And you should be, because they are absolutely stunning.
They're really nice, aren't they? I love the background as well. I just
disconnected. Oh yeah, it's like an infinity background.
I just disconnected you there, Louise, just if I can get you.
That's okay.
On there.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Background, that. I love the blue. The blue really does show off the silver really, really well.
Colourful, beautiful, aren't they?
Yes, and they're good. I wouldn't have thought, you see, this is what we were saying. I wouldn't have thought of doing baubles flat. They look slightly domed, but with the cutouts as well. And the
yeah, there we go. There's another. There's a shot here which is
really good.
Clever, because they do look
three-dimensional.
Yeah. Domed out. Beautiful.
Yes, very good. Thank you, Dan, for showing us your baubles. Really nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
They're really lovely, aren't they?
That.
Thank you for the
Very nice indeed.
That's what I'd like on my tree, Andrew. So if you could knock up about a dozen of them, please, in the next week or two, that'd be great.
How are you coming along with your Victorian-style baubles, Louise?
All right, that's enough of that. It's just so blooming time-consuming.
Beading, isn't it?
It's supposed to be a relaxing hobby. You just got me stressed out. I'm all stuck to the cat. Crushed under my foot by accident. What a mess.
Bits on the floor and you walk through and you stand.
Yeah, Diane. Yay, Diane's on. Yeah, domed and frosted. Yeah, beautiful.
Really good.
Yeah, really, really love them. Well done.
Nice.
They look great. Thank you for sending them.
Sorry, I'm just opening up my bottle.
Do you want a question?
I love a question.
Okay. It just says here end Q&A. No, I don't want to end the Q&A. Right, Mike is saying, I'm wondering if I can use CZs when I'm doing lost wax casting other than diamonds, or what other stones would hold up to the heat?
The problem with lost wax casting is that the metal enters the mould. Now the mould should be hot. The mould should be the same temperature as the molten metal that comes into it. So there would not necessarily be any thermal shock when it comes to the metal touching the stones. But you got to make sure that the stones can withstand the heat. When we do our lost wax casting, I was going to say it gets to X amount, but I can't remember what it goes to. But you open the kiln and it is red hot, as in red hot. Now, whatever stone that goes into the lost wax casting has to withstand that temperature. There are certain stones that are safe to use. I would approach someone like, say, the precious metal clay. I'm saying that because I just contacted them earlier today, to get some gemstones, some cubic zirconias that are safe to use with precious metal clay, because metal clay, whatever it is, because then you know that they're going to be made to withstand that temperature. If you simply go to a stone merchant and you buy some garnets, or you buy some sapphires, or you buy some rubies and you want to put them in lost wax casting, there is a chance that they will not withstand the heat because they have not been sorted, they have not been cut, they have not been assessed to be able to withstand that heat. So try and not to use those, even though you can put a torch upon sapphires, you can put a torch upon rubies, and I love heating up rubies because they turn green and then they turn red again. But they aren't necessarily made for heating up in that way. So to be safe and to be sure, diamonds, provided they're not fracture filled or treated in any way, are pretty guaranteed. But to be sure, and you want to experiment, get some cubic zirconias, CZs, that are made to withstand metal clay firing, because metal clay is there, the stone goes into it, the torch goes onto it, so they can withstand that heat, and they should be able to withstand lost wax casting. If you're in the UK, they contact the Precious Metal Clay Limited down in, I did say Corfu, didn't I? It's called down Corfe Castle in near Swanage, and they sell them down there, and they should be able to help you. A little bit of a plug for them.
Good stuff.
Let's have another question. How are the questions working? Still working
They're
okay?
working out quite well, I think. I hope I'm not missing... I think I have missed...
That's okay.
Stephen has put a question in... Stephen is saying, I'm relatively new here. Welcome. Do you do any enamelling on silver, and considering the temperatures, would you solder details before enamelling?
Yes. Okay, so we have done enamelling here. We're not experts, we just dabble. But the problem is...
We're experts in other things, just not enamelling.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We have dabbled with enamelling, I should say. The problem is with enamelling is that you do have to do your soldering before the enamelling, because the heat involved is going to be really, really high when it comes to enamelling. And if you've used anything like an easy solder, a medium solder, or even a hard solder, those soldered fittings and attachments are going to fall off because the heat needed to melt the glass. So you can get, and if you're in the UK here, and I'm sure wherever you are in the world, you can get a solder called enamelling solder. That is a higher melting point solder than a hard solder, and it is called enamelling solder because you use it if you are enamelling, and that solder melts at a higher temperature than what the glass melts at. So if you're making a pendant and you want to attach a jump ring on the top of it, you would attach your jump ring, your bail onto the silver, then you would enamel. You'd have to heat up the piece really, really hot, obviously, for the enamelling solder to melt. But you can be sure when that piece then goes in the kiln, or even if you torch fire it, that the glass will melt before the solder melts and the jump ring falls off. What was the question again? That was a question, wasn't it? Yes, do you solder before or after?
Yes, yeah.
You usually cannot get away with soldering on anything that is enamelled. It just will not work. You have to do it the other way around. You have to solder everything first, or fuse. If you're using some gold or some fine silver, you can fuse the pieces together You can make the cells, as it calls it, a cloisonne. You would fuse it all together, and then you would insert the little cells with your powdered enamel mixed with water. All your soldering is got to be done before the enameling. Absolutely. Let's have another question.
Good. Yes, Janet is. Fiona said, "I love the thumbs up fireworks." I think that's a new thing as well. It gives you a little woo
really?
when you like the. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you want to see it, then give us a like. Yeah. Janet is saying, "Christmas is coming. Do I want a frets hammer, or do I just carry on reshaping and repolishing my cheapo one, please?"
I do love my frets hammer. Now the advantage that you've got is that if you buy an expensive hammer, you will look after it and you will respect it and you will treat it with the love and care it deserves. So I never use my frets hammer usually, unless I'm doing something that I really want the most fantastic surface, because with this particular guy, oh, my close-up camera's gone off. Where's my close-up camera gone off? Let's turn that on. Let's see if we can get close up. There we go. Yes, there we go. So my close-up okay, I know there's no memory card. Thank you for reminding me, camera. Thank you. So the face of the frets is nice and smooth. It's lost its shine a bit. We could use our JT to polish that up, Louise.
Yeah.
It's got a nice edge there. So I do look after this and I do keep it to one side. If I'm just generally bashing something, I will use my cheapo hammer. But if I want to make sure that I get a lovely surface, a frets hammer. They're not cheap. They are expensive. This is around about £50, £60, which for a hammer I think is a lot of money, but it does feel nice. It's lovely and I do recommend them, but it is not the hammer that I would use every day. If you're doing something and you're doing some fold forming and you just want to bash, 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 a cheapo hammer is going to do. If you want to make sure that you get a nice concave surface when you want to do some hammering to get like a dimpled look, a nice cheap hammer is going to suffice. They look good in Instagram posts, don't they? Leave them on the side, put your piece by there, snapshot, hashtag frets, whatever you want to do. They do look good and they are nice. So yes, get one for Christmas and you will certainly look after it. You do have to take care with it. It will ding like every other hammer, so you're still going to have to look after it, but as it's an expensive hammer, you look after it. And I must have had this about 3 or 4 years and I haven't even polished the face of it yet, and it's still okay. It's not completely shiny, but it's still lovely and smooth and there's no dents in it. So yes, if you do pay the money, you do get the quality, absolutely. So go and buy one, definitely.
Good.
Yes,
yeah, have to say hi, Mike. Mike is on. Mike. Cousin Mike.
Mike, cousin
yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Everybody say hi to Mike.
Mike is my cousin. Hello, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hello,
Mike.
lovely.
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. Nice that you've come to join us. Thank you.
Good to see you. Thank
you.
Cool. Interested in making jewellery, perhaps?
Yeah. Great. Come down to the workshop, Mike. Fab.
So have any other questions to do?
Okay. We did the frets. How did I do that one? Yes. Okay. What are your favourite gemstones, Andrew and Louise, and why?
I don't know.
Mine change almost on a daily basis.
Does,
I do
yes.
love diamonds because I love the science behind it and just the sheer amount of information that there is. Well, you could say that about all gemstones, couldn't you? But I do like colour change stones. I've got a little colour change sapphire which I love. I gotta
make that smaller. Where is it?
Oh no, not that one. The natural one. I got a natural colour change sapphire which I've got stones which I kind of fixate on. I've got a pink tourmaline which I bought for my daughter because it's her colour pink. I bought that from Kerry, and it's a gorgeous cabochon. And I just can't stop looking at that. Sometimes I just put them on my desk and look at them while I'm working because I just like them. I do like lapis lazuli with a generous pyrite dusting.
Yes.
I just like them all. I just like and want them all.
Yeah.
Every time I find out about a new gemstone, it becomes my new favourite, and then
I do like seeing something that I haven't seen before. I do like seeing something new.
We bought some celestite last week, didn't we?
Yes.
Which was nice.
And there's lots of gemstones. As I don't necessarily have a favourite, but I do like seeing something new, something original. We popped into Jacob's Market, didn't we? In Cardiff,
did, yeah.
And there's a little gemstone crystal place within there that had some amazing pieces. And also Andy up in Abergavenny. If you're in Abergavenny, go through Abergavenny from the cinema bookshop, keep on going through the town, down, around, pop into the 3 Tons. Gorgeous meal, gorgeous pint there. 3 or 4 doors up from the 3 Tons is Andy. What's it called?
The Hourglass Collective.
The Hourglass Collective. Go in there.
Fascinating man, isn't he? He is lovely.
He will keep you there all day because he is so knowledgeable, and he shows you. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Look.
If you like gemstones or crystals, he will.
Oh yeah.
He'll love you. You go in there and you can just. He's such a lovely man, isn't he?
He really is.
He's so excited about all the gemstones and all the crystals.
He shows you all the new things that he's got in, and he gets his ultraviolet light out and puts light on, lights off, lights on. He says, "Oh, I love this, love this." So his name's Andy, the Hourglass Collective.
It's got some nice geodes, some nice cathedrals, isn't he?
Oh yes. So we love that. So
a trip there.
I don't have a favourite, but I think I'm beginning to understand the beauty of that we haven't done anything yet, of the gemstone cutting, putting the slab, faceting it or cabinet or whatever it's going to be, because you can see and you can reveal what you've never seen before and nobody has ever seen before.
This, I think, is going to be a nice, relaxing hobby for you.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's going to be, because it's work related, it's going to feel,
yes,
you're going to be comfortable with it, but I think you're going to get right into this.
You think so?
Yeah, and I'm excited as well.
But we opened a little parcel today and there's Herkimer diamonds in it, and I love the look of them because they're really gorgeous. I know it's a bit old-fashioned now, but the salt and pepper diamonds, I just love the look of them because they are not what you expect, and they inspire you. Oh, that's amazing! Look at that. But I've never done anything with them.
But why do you like them? Because they're different.
They're just different, and I like things that are different. Yeah, everyone's seen sapphires, everyone's seen rubies, everyone's seen the usual run-of-the-mill stones, but. Go on.
There was one last week which we were all blown away by, which we saw, and we were buying some fine jewellery, weren't we, for the shop?
Yes.
And the rep had I didn't even ask what it was set in, to be honest. It was a solitaire. It was 7 carat diamond. Colour was a little bit yellowy, wasn't it? Yes. So it was I don't know what it was actually.
LM, something like that.
So it was a noticeable, I would say, yellowy tinge to it. But the clarity was probably... I don't know what it was. I can't remember. He didn't know. But it was fairly clean. But we don't carry stock like that, do we? But it was just.
It was nice to have, nice to hold. He said, take some photographs of it. Take some photographs. Well, I'll take it upstairs now.
God, I just had it on, didn't I? I was hoping he'd forget, but he didn't.
So we used the old gem light box to take some lovely photographs of that, and we just experimented with it. But yeah, things like that. It's really exciting, but to me, it's not about the cost, because that stone would retail for about 80,000, 90,000.
Well, that's what he was selling. Yeah. He was, if we bought it from him, we'd have to sell it for that much.
He'd retail it. And I don't think it's about the cost.
No.
For me, yes, that was outstanding, but it's...
I'm never going to get to wear a 7 carat diamond again, am I?
You never know.
I don't think so. I think monkeys are going to fly out of my...
armpits. Yes, so I think, but I don't think it's about that. I just think it's about the love of the stone, how it looks to you, how it appeals to you, and just about that, and about nature.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well, it's because we occasionally have to buy stones in for a customer, don't we?
Yes.
We've done, I don't know, for example, somebody wanted a carat diamond to go in a solitaire, and you get a range, don't you?
Yeah.
You've got a price range, but you get a few, and I don't really tell them the price. I let them see which ones they actually like, and often it's not the most expensive stone, but that's the one they like, and that's
exactly. If that's the one they're drawn to.
Yeah, then
like
great,
it,
and then
totally.
So just let the stone speak to you.
Yeah. So I'm afraid it's not a definitive answer because they all change. So I think it just depends upon you. As you say, changes from day to day, month to month, depending on what we have in, what we look at, and so forth.
Yeah.
It could be something really cheap, but we just love the look of it.
I've got a big colour change. It's a synthetic colour change sapphire, and it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's inexpensive, but it's just I just love it. People always comment on it. It's really good.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
So
just cool.
I'm afraid it's no definitive answer. It just changes. Do you have another question?
Yeah, Mike is asking, do we cut crystal?
No. When you say crystal, do you mean as in crystal glass or crystals, gemstone crystals? We just
What have you got in mind, Mike?
Yeah, we just recently got a new tool that enables us to grind and polish glass gemstones as well. So just let us know what it is you want.
Yeah, drop us a message. Cool.
Yes.
Good. Fire opal. Yeah, I love fire. Gorgeous. We've got a Mexican fire opal. I think I've got a cab and I've got a faceted one, and they are just both lush.
Absolutely. And when we were down with David Lilly, he had that boulder opal.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And that's always lovely to see that being cut, to see how things develop within the stone. And sometimes you can go too far and just take it all out completely, or you can actually reveal something that has never ever been seen. And it is very clever, very clever. So I got a film that I'm still editing, showing David doing the cabin
Doing
of
his
the boulder opal.
yeah,
so I'm still
demo.
doing
That's
that.
cool.
So that'll be going on YouTube live over. I'll try and get that done this week, I think.
That's going to be
Get
good.
that. Yes. So have another question, shall we?
Yes. Okay. Sandra is saying, I always use brass brush to clean post pickle, but do I have to? Will solder flow if I leave the white silver surface on the metal until the next step?
Yes, there's no need to put a brass brush on it. In fact, they do say that if you use a brass brush, there is a chance that the brass will come off on the silver. So you're effectively rubbing brass over silver, and sometimes the silver takes on that yellow color of the brass, which isn't good. So if you do want to do that, I would always make sure that you put it under some running water, use a little bit of soap, whether it be hand soap or I used to love imperial leather, a block of imperial leather always by the side of the sink. Run your scratch brush over it. You've got a bit of lubrication and it will bring the silver up lovely. If you don't use any lubrication, there's a chance that the brass will come off on the silver. There's no need to clean it. If you are soldering something, you heat it up, put it in the acid, in your safety pickle, it comes out, it is a matte silver. That's fine silver, but you can be sure that that is lovely and clean. There's no grease, there is no fingerprints, there's no nothing on it, and you can just simply bring that onto your soldering block and carry on soldering because you know it is perfectly clean. And I would always do that. I would never clean the piece with the brass brush between steps because there is no need to do it, and again for me that would be time consuming, and for me time is money. So Sandra, there's no need to. As soon as you put it into the pickle, that piece is clean enough to carry on soldering. Obviously put it into your water, get rid of any residue safety pickle, but that's all you need to do. Put it back on your soldering block or file it or whatever you need to do and carry on soldering. No need to clean it with a brass brush. Yes, Lou?
Good. Okay, M. Vaughan Green, when setting... Oh, let me just select the question. When setting a stone with a burnisher, do I then go around the inner edge with a graver?
You can do. It does take a lot of practice. Sometimes the stone is soft. So if you're doing something like with a turquoise or with an opal, there is a chance that your graver will just catch the stone and actually mark the stone. So if I was doing something with a diamond, with a sapphire, with a ruby that is nice and hard, yet burnish over, then get a nice, sharp, polished, bellied graver. So the graver is going to be like this. Obviously you've removed that section. Make sure that this area here, underneath the graver, is polished, because when you push the graver around the edge of your stone, okay, so here's your graver, here's your bezel around here. When you push the graver around the edge, if this bottom area here is polished, it will impart a nice polished surface as you go round. But as I said, because you look down on top of the engraver, it's this shape. If there's a sharpish edge here, it's a chance that you're going to mark the stone. So if I was doing something with a turquoise, opal, anything like that, I would not use a sharpened graver, but I would get a nice fine pointed needle burnisher, We sell them in the store. And I would just run that around the inside edge. It always pays to use magnification. So we use perhaps your optivisor, or if you've got a scope, let's remember to do that. The scope.
Oh yeah. In my diary.
So much to do. You do it under magnification so you don't mark the stone. And if there is a chance that you're going to mark the stone, get a little bit of masking tape, some paper tape to put over the stone to protect the stone. You can use your fine needle burnisher, or then you could still use your graver, because the graver isn't going to touch the stone. So you don't always have to. That's the answer. Louise, should we have one last question? Because it's coming up to 5 o'clock.
Okay. Oh my, where on earth did that hour go?
I know.
Mike wants some quartz crystal kept for a new lightsaber. Ooh. Needs to be narrowed about 10 mil in thickness and 1.5 inches in length.
We should be able to do that. Give us a few weeks, few months to practice with our piece of
Yeah,
equipment.
we've got some equipment which might be capable of doing that. But yeah, give us a little while to get to grips with it. Is the quartz going to be, is it kept in a, what's the, smooth? Or is it, what am I trying to say, Andrew?
Is it rough or is it smooth?
Yes, so is it round all the way? Is it like a round cross section?
Prism?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or prismatic? Could think of the word. Yeah. Is it a prism or is it a roundy one?
Absolutely. And also,
I suppose yeah, you know what? Can you draw it? Actually, it's easier. Just is it like a
Email
rocket lolly, or is it? Oh.
you can, I can't really draw them because they are. How many sides are there?
Quartz is trigonal, so six-sided with six-sided with three-way symmetry, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like that, isn't it? But then it's like that, but it's, and then you draw these lines up like this, isn't it? There we go. It's like that, isn't it?
It's a prism, a rough prism. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, take a picture, Mike. Take a picture, send it to louise@andrewberry.co.uk and let's have a look at it. Tell us what sort of dimensions you want. Give us some dimensions, put a ruler by the side of it so we know dimensions of the crystal that you've got. But yes, we should be able to cut it. We should be able to polish the faces for you. So I don't think that would be a problem. But give us a little while just to get to grips with the new piece of equipment that we got, just to make sure. Yes.
Okay, good. Did you want another question?
Yes, please.
Right, Lou is saying, what type of gravers should a beginner purchase? I'm confused on the various types.
It depends on what you want to be doing. What I would buy is a spit stick, which, oh, that's the overhead, was the wrong one, which if you look at the front is that sort of shape. That's called a spit stick. I would also buy one that comes in slightly rounded on the bottom. And then I would also buy one that's going to be flat. The thing is, they come in different sizes, so it depends upon what you're going to be doing with them. The gravers will come usually like that. All right, like this. So usually they're going to be too long for what you need. Oh, excuse me. What I would make sure you do is put the graver handle on the end here. Put it in your hand, and what you want to do, you want to look at how far the graver handle comes from here. And what you want to do is measure the distance when the graver handle, can you see that? Yeah. So you've got the graver handle here and the graver sticking out. You'll find that the graver handle will fit in here. Here's your bit of a mushroom that goes on the outside. And this is going to be too long. If you put that in your hand, you may find it's going to be sticking out way above your finger. But the idea is you need to have the graver, the length that you need, that comes up to roughly around about the tip of your index finger. Mark that off on the graver there. Put this in the vise and push the graver over, or vice versa. Put this in the vise. Use your vise here and snap it off at that point, because this you do not need. That sounds a bit wasteful, I know, but everyone is going to be different. So you've got your graver, it's in the handle, you've got that. Doesn't matter which one, whether you have the flat spit stick or rounded bottom, or you could even get away with that shape as well, because what you want to do is then grind away all this. So you want to take away all of that, and then you want to put about a 45-degree face down there. So that is what you have. The reason being is that if you left the graver that shape, you really have to polish up all this face here every single time. It's too much space, because none of this is going to need. You're going to need any of that, because none of that is going to do any cutting. It is purely the tip down here. Polish that up and polish up the bottom here, and that is all you need. You can do that with a flat spit stick or a rounded bottom one, bull stick I think some of them call them, but that is all you really need. They're always too long, so make sure you make them the right length. As I said, put them in your hand. I got one here to show you. If I've got one here, I will show you. I do. So this is one that I've got here. This is exactly what I was just telling you. We've got that bit of a curvature that comes on there. This graver was longer. Do I have a graver here to show you how long they are? Yes, I do. So bear with me a second. So this is a typical graver. Again, we sell the ones we use in the store. So this is a typical sized engraver, or graver itself, as you can see. That is what we've got here. So you can see if that handle goes over the tang, you've got quite a bit of space. Let me turn it on this video. You've got quite a bit of space, okay? Put that in the vise, hammer, snap that off, wear eye protection, put a bit of cloth over it, do that, grind this with a diamond wheel and grind a nice point up onto this. Let's try and zoom in on this for you to have a look at. There we go, that's better. And that's what we would do. And then when that goes in your hand, as you can see, let's try and get this back out again. There we go. So the idea is you put that in your hand, as you can see, hits the ball of your hand here, comes round, and the tip should just come to your index finger. If you kept the graver as it was, that would be into the handle there. This would be sticking out like that. You've got no control over this, but this is completely going off on its own. But if you make it shorter, you can control it. It's an extension of your hand, and you can do some fantastic engraving with that. So again, we sell them in the store. We sell the flat nose. I think we sell those three because they're the most popular to buy. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
That'll be it. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed the new feature that YouTube have announced. This is the questions. I think everyone's quite liked it because everyone knows where their questions are. Can everyone in the chat see those questions? Do we know? We don't know, do we?
I can have a look on here. I've got live chat or top chat, but I can only see the questions.
Mm-hmm. So only you can see the questions, and then, okay. Okay.
So I guess. Oh, thank you, Amco. Fab. Yeah, I'll just pop that. Yeah, thank you. That's brilliant. Yes. The current question is visible. Yes. But can you see the list of questions, or can you just see the question that I've? Because the question in the blue banner at the top of the chat box is the question that I've put there.
Yeah. Okay.
But can you see the list of questions, guys?
We'll see how it goes.
The highlight in the blue on the top. Okay.
Yes, we can see.
We can see when they're asked, but then they go, right, okay, so you can't see the list.
Okay.
I suppose the only drawback of it is that people can't discuss the questions.
No.
Which,
in one respect, if they're asking questions, it's us who should be answering them. In that. But respect. Sometimes some people like to help.
Yeah, it's good to get other people's viewpoints, even though any advice undertaken in the chat is undertaken at your own risk. That's the only thing I can think it takes that away. But then the advantage that we've got is we're all talking about the same question at the same time, which is a good thing, I suppose. Yes. So when you announce the question, show the question, I can answer it, and then if anybody else then wants to join in with the chat, they can at that particular point. I guess if you want to address having the chat is all lost. Yes, if you want to address the chat box, you put it in the chat box. If you want people to discuss a question,
Yes.
If you want to make sure Andrew sees it, put it in the blue
box.
ribbon at the top there.
Yeah.
So you've still got the option to do that. It just means that
We'll get through those questions first, I suppose. Those are the questions that we'll be answering. Any questions entered into the chat.
What do you guys think?
Just let us know. If you want to email, you're more than welcome just to let us find out. This is something new that we're just trying out. I don't think it is sort of publicly been announced yet, but it's something that YouTube has just started as well. So is it going to be a good thing? So if you want me to answer your question, pop it within the little blue box and we'll definitely answer it.
Lou was saying, I asked my question twice, not being able to see if it went in the queue.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose that's a bit annoying, isn't it? So you can only see the question. Yeah, it's good. It'd be nice if you could see the list of questions.
Yeah, it would be.
As well.
Yes.
But yeah, I like the blue question box. So we'll
Keeps
try
all the
and
questions,
use
and then
them
you can select
both.
the questions then, can't you?
Well, this is the other thing. I like being transparent, and I like the fact that people can see that I'm reading all the questions in order, but people can't see that now. I could be just doing it. I mean, I won't, because you guys hopefully trust me to read them all out and be fair.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the general consensus is, and we'll check the replay as well afterwards and see if that comes up.
Yeah.
Because again, with the replay, you can actually see the chat, can't you? But can you see then the questions at that particular point?
What's good about it is sometimes when there's loads of chat and I'm scrolling through, it'll stop and then the whole chat bot goes like that, and then it just jumps me right to the end, and I've got to go and find my place again.
Like I do when I'm selecting my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really annoying, and it's a bit time, and then I'm going, I've got to find a question, and you're going, no, come on, Louise, haven't you got the question ready? So there's that. It's going to save a bit of time, yeah.
Come on, Louise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of chat today, that's good. I've got to find a question. Oh my God. Yeah, so it does stop that.
Good. All right. Well, we'll carry on with it until it... Yeah, because at the end of the day, YouTube may turn around and make it better for us. They may have to click here to see all the questions answered or whatever it is. Yeah.
Will the blue box appear in the replay? Don't know.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. We're going to go home and have a look. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to find out.
Yep.
Should we finish there?
I think so.
Good.
When I sent my question, it did say send. Oh, good.
Oh, excellent.
Okay,
Good.
cool.
Yes,
Well, perhaps we'll try it again, not next week because we're not here, but the week after, and we'll see.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Have a wonderful
Claire,
time. Oh, thank you, Claire.
Claire. Right, yes, just to mention that Black Friday is coming up. The store is going to be having a Black Friday offer. It's not just for the Friday, it's for the whole weekend. I think we're going to be offering...
On Friday,
Saturday,
this week.
Sunday. Is it this week? Is it
I don't
Black
know.
Friday this week? I don't know.
What's the date? No, it's next Friday. It's last Friday in November, isn't it?
Is it? Whenever it is, we are arranging to have free postage, UK postage over £75. And I think
this is all news to me now.
This
because these ideas have formed in your head, haven't they?
Can't you read my mind?
No,
Louise?
not yet.
Really? Oh my gosh. We did it last year. We had an unbelievable, amazing success on that. I think we did 10% off across the board and free postage, UK postage, at £75 or more. I think we're going to be doing the same this year. There'll be no coupon code. It'll be just a blanket discount across the board and free postage. That will be 25th of November. Thank you, Lou. That's when we're going to be doing our Black Friday.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. But again, we had amazing success last year.
Good.
We were in London last year, weren't we?
Yes, because it was Jasmine's birthday, wasn't it? So, yeah.
Good. All right. Should we go?
Yes.
What's for tea, Lou?
Bubble and Squeak.
Bubble and Squeak. And don't forget, grab your...
I won't be here next week to remind you. So get yours before they sell out. Because when we see you next, it'll be December. It will be that week.
It will be that week.
It will be that week. So don't leave it till it's sold out. Get your Gemology Rocks. I put it in the
calendar.
I'll put it again because it's so fabulous.
It is good. So that is what you need. Go and grab your Gemology Rocks Advent Calendar full of lovely, lovely gemstones.
Because I'd hate for you to be really jealous when you see me opening mine.
Good.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to have a lovely, lovely next weekend. So don't forget, we will not be here next Monday. No workshop. We do have 2 workshops to do before the end of the year. We have decided what we're going to be doing, and we're planning next year's already as well. So the next workshop is going to be all about hinges. That's what we're going to be doing, and then we're going to carry on with them with another workshop in December. Catches. Hinges and catches, aren't we?
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? And I think for things like this, because I think it's the kind of thing that people think is, well, there is a technique, isn't there?
Yes.
So it's going to be very technique driven.
Yes.
And we're thinking of introducing a list of things that you need to do the workshop beforehand. So we're going to do that as well, because a lot of people probably don't realise that they've got all of these things that they need to do the thing that we're going to be showing, but they think it's something that they can't do. So yeah. But if you know you've got all the stuff, you might as well just watch the workshop and have a go.
You can do it.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
And then,
it's straightforward. It is technical.
Successful, and yeah.
Good. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. Fingers crossed, our software is not going to let us down. The new website is coming along, an absolute treat. Still developing that. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. Just ironing out, adding a few more content to a few bits and pieces. You're going to be blown away by it. We think it is. I'm really excited. I haven't been really excited about websites before, but this one, I am really pleased with this. The layout and what?
I'm laughing at you showing me Friday night, and I was like, I want to go home.
Louise, look, you can do this, they did that, and you go, oh, I don't want to.
I want to go home now.
So yeah, the new website's coming along really well. We're going to try and launch it. I don't know when. It's going to be over the next few weeks. We're not going to leave it too close to Christmas, because we're going to need time off to try and sort out any problems. But there will be 2 workshops. Hinges.
A hinge binge.
A hinge. We're going to be showing you how to make hinges for lockets, hinges for bangles, and then the month after, we're going to be looking at the catches for lockets and catches for bangles and things like that. Date for hinge workshop, we don't know yet. We need to sort this out, because we have to make sure there's people down in the shop that can cover us when we're up here for doing that. But we'll let you know at least 2 weeks in advance.
Yes.
So we may end up having 2 workshops in December. We don't know yet, but we're going to make sure they're going to have plenty of time to sort this out. And I can see that we're buffering. So on the buffering note,
means time to go.
We are going to go. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. So don't come next week, because we won't be here. And we will see you in 2 weeks for the next Q&A. Louise, do we need to say anything else before we go?
No, I don't think so.
Just grab your Gemology Rocks Advent Calendar, £200. Buy it for yourself.
Buy it for yourself, buy it for your team, buy it for your, I don't know, treat somebody. If somebody's interested in gemstones.
It'll be good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
We'll be showing you what's what over the next...
You could buy one and use it as a raffle prize for your customers. They get 24 gemstones, and then you can give them ideas for commissions. How about that for an idea? That would be, no, I hadn't thought about that.
Would be good.
That would be good. You could buy one, you could raffle it, and then your customer's got a load of gemstones, and what are they going to do with them? Bring them back to you.
Offer them a discount on
Offer them a discount on a commission then.
Yeah. You can say...
Design your own piece of jewellery from
it. It's £200, but with that you get 50% off on a commission for any gemstone that's in it.
Well, you buy it and raffle it for your customer, or whatever. That's what I was thinking anyway. You buy it and raffle it for your customer.
Okay.
As a social media, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud now. I'm just blurting out ideas that are forming in my mind.
You're scaring me.
Thank you.
Right. You blurt out your ideas. We're going to go. We're going to have Bubble and Squeak for tea, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Yes, everyone, thank you very much. We're going to have a lovely wedding next week. Not our wedding, my daughter's
We've had our wedding, yeah.
We've had our wedding. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week and or next week. Keep an eye out on social media for all the things that's happening with At The Bench and what happens to Louise and myself. We're going to be playing around. Yes,
Claire's birthday. Happy birthday, Claire.
Claire, happy birthday.
When's your birthday?
Should we sing?
Next week.
Next week.
Oh. Is your birthday on Monday, Claire? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Claire. Happy birthday to you.
On that note,
I've had another idea.
Oh no.
They're coming thick and fast now.
Oh,
You
no.
could buy the Gemaldi Rocks Advent calendar and you can use that and you can raffle off a stone every day. You can have a competition and one of your customers can win a stone every day and then get a discount on a commission.
Yes, right, okay.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Message us with ideas of what you can do with Louise's Advent calendar. But yeah, go and check out Gemaldi Rocks. It is £200. It sounds a lot of money, but you do get 24 gemstones. That
And 24 gemstone lessons.
And 24 lessons.
So you can
as well.
impress your clients and customers with your knowledge. You can, it'll help you sell gemstones confidently.
It will.
Yes.
So everyone, let's going to go. We're delaying this now.
Okay, sorry.
Everyone, take care.
Shannon's cleaning up on her own. That's why I might be chatting. Yeah.
We will see you in 2 weeks' time. Keep an eye out on socials for all that's happening with the workshops and so forth. So it's goodbye from Louise.
Goodbye. Happy birthday, Clay.
It's goodbye from me. Everyone, take care. Enjoy the rest of the week. Bye-bye.